If you live in Canada, buying US assets on Simple and Questrade can actually cost you a lot of money. When I started investing, I would always just buy and not mind the exchange rate fees. But over time, this seemingly insignificant amount of money is going to cost you a lot down the road. And that is why over time, as I learned more about saving and investing, I started using an approach that helps me save money on exchange rate fees. And that approach is Norbert's Gambit. And in this video, I will show you how I do it. It's pretty easy actually, so you might want to stick around for this one. Well, first of all, before you decide to eventually do or go with Norbert's Gambit, there's one thing I think you have to know. If the amount of money that you are trying to convert is not a lot, then this approach might just entirely be a waste of time. But if the amount of money is substantial, then this might be beneficial for you. So in this case, I am trying to convert $6,000 Canadian, and that meets the threshold for me because in the end, I will show you how much I was able to save. And if I had gone the normal approach of buying the stock directly in USD, I'm going to also show you how much that would have cost me in fees. Well, the first thing I have to do here is log into my Questrade account. I operate 4 accounts with Questrade. I have a cash account, I have a tax-free savings account, an RRSP, and a first home savings account. So this activity I want to do in my first home savings account. I open up my first home savings account. First thing I have to do is figure out which stock or ETF do I want to use for this transaction. I find a stock or ETF that is listed in both a Canadian stock exchange and a US stock exchange. So we have a stock listed in Canadian dollars and a stock listed in US dollars. The one that I actually use and the one that I have been using is DLR. So DLR.U.TO is the US one, and the DLR.TO is the one listed in Canadian dollars. So because I want to eventually buy or convert to USD, I have to first buy the stock in my own currency, which is Canadian dollars. And then I'm going to go with the DLR.TO. You can also do this with TD Bank, right? The TD Bank shares. You can also do this with QQC. That is the QQ, like the NASDAQ 100 ETF. They have one that is listed in Canadian dollars and there's another one listed in US dollars. So you can do it with any stock or asset that is listed in both USD and Canadian dollars. So you don't actually have to use this one in particular. So this is how much that this stock is listed at, 14.30. I just go here and click buy, and the next thing is to put in how much quantity that I want to buy. And an easy way to do that is figure out how much you want to buy and open up your calculator, and then you figure out what it is going to cost you to do that. Because I am trying to buy $6,000 worth, I'm just going to go $6,000 divide by 14.30. It's going to get me about 419.5 shares, but I'm just going to go with 419. And you see, what is going to cost me is 5,995 Canadian dollars. And then you go review order, and then you send the order. It's actually that simple. And when that is done, you just go over to management and then scroll all the way down to journal shares. And then you click that here. Here you just select the account that you want to do this transaction in. For me, it's my first home savings account. And remember, you can always toggle between new request and request history. So if you have a pending request, it's going to show up in your request history. So which one do I want to do this for? I want to do this for DLR.TO. Here you get to select the symbol of the shares that you want to journal. I want to do that for my DLR.TO shares, which is this one here. I click it. So it just tells me here that you already have an active request for this symbol. Please select another one. So I have a total of 419 shares because I have already placed this request. The next thing you do is just to click the continue button down here and then place the request. This will eventually take a couple of days. The information that is available on the Questrade website says it's going to take about 3 to 5 days. So today is Monday, the 10th of November 2025. I will have to check back again in about 3 to 5 days and then we will go from there. So welcome back. My trade settled after 5 days. I placed my share journal request on a Monday and it settled after 5 days. So typically the 3 to 5 days timeline is accurate. Now let's go ahead and continue. If you take a look at my request history, you can see the share journal request here, and this is the details of the request. I journaled 419 shares of DLR.to to DLRU.to. So this one is listed in Canadian dollars and this is now the one that is listed in USD. If we go back here, we come back here, this is a summary of my account and this is the particular trade. This is the shares that I hold. I now have 419 shares of DLR.u.u and the book value of that is $4,277 US. So I changed about 6,000 Canadian dollars and this is what it gives me in USD. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is to just place a sell order for this number of shares, all the shares, 419 of them, and then I will have my USD and I can now buy any share or ETF that I want that is listed in USD. So I'm going to click review order here and I'm going to send the order and that's it. So when the market opens, my sell order will be executed and I will have my USD to do whatever I want in my Questrade app. And that is how you save money converting Canadian dollars to USD. So this process would have cost me about $90 if I bought a US stock directly, but using the nobert gambit approach cost me less than $12. So that's a huge difference in dollar amount. And that is why I continue to use nobert gambit to save money on exchange rate fees.